Hey everybody, welcome back to our neck of the woods. So I'm not sure how this video is gonna go. It's gonna depend on the weather and my work schedule, but we did pick up our asphalt shingles. We definitely have some more siding to do. So stick around and I'll at least tell you what's going on. Okay, so first thing first, we went ahead and we picked up our asphalt shingles. Now, I don't have all of them because I'm an idiot and I went all the way to the lumber yard and I had too much things on my mind and I forgot my trailer. And even though I've got a 2500, that right there is a heck of a lot of weight and I didn't want to overstretch it and do any more because it would put me on the safety limits and the manufacturer's recommended limit for what a vehicle can carry. Now, if you're not familiar with what your vehicle can carry, I don't care if you've got a truck all the way down to like a smart car. If you look on the inside of your door right here, it'll tell you how much load you can actually carry. And on this particular vehicle, it's 3,163 pounds. Now, that includes everything. That is you, your kids, your luggage, etc. So if you've got an SUV or a truck, and it also includes tongue weight. So if you've got a SUV, let's say, that can only haul 5,000 pounds and you put you, your husband, luggage, and everything else, and you already put in like 300 or 400 pounds, and then you find out the tongue weight of a trailer is like 1,000 pounds, let's say, you're already adding that to your load capacity of your vehicle. So if your vehicle, while it may be able to tow 5,000 pounds, maybe the tongue weight plus you and your passengers aren't over 1,300 pounds. And I use that as an example because that's what my Chevy ZR2 was. The truck before the ZR2 was a 1,500 Dodge Ram, only had a carrying capacity of 1,310 pounds. That was terrible. And that little Chevy ZR2 was 1,365 pounds. It actually was more than my full-size Dodge Ram 1500. But if I put a really big trailer on the back of that, you're already cutting down on that 1,365, so that can make your vehicle unsafe. So anyway, with those shingles there, I am little over 3,000 pounds plus the weight of me, so I may be a hair over, but again, that's just for safety of you and other people that are going down the road. Manufacturers are taking vehicle brakes into example, so if the braking system can't handle you slowing down, having a 31 or 3,500 or 4,000 pound load, then not only are you going to brake a lot further or maybe make your brakes fail, but you're also going to be carrying a lot more kinetic energy that this vehicle, say at 50 miles an hour, hits a car and the manufacturer's seen that and seen what it's done. But if you put an extra 1,000 pounds in that vehicle and hit the same test, your test rating is no longer going to be, let's say, 5 stars. It may actually be through the garbage because that extra 1,000 pounds adds so much more in there. And I see this all the time, so please, if you guys are out there hauling, towing, camping, doing whatever, stay within your manufacturer's limits. So not only are you safe, but you also don't get sued if State Highway Patrol is like, hey, you are way overweight, insurance ain't gonna cover it. So not only are you paying for your vehicle, their vehicle, but you also could be paying a lot in medical bills and somebody's life. So please, again, check your door stickers, check what your vehicle can actually tow and carry, and the combined weight of those is not going over what your manufacturer says the gross vehicle weight is allowed to be. So as for our asphalt shingles, what did we go with? Well, there's 3 big companies out there. There's Atlas, GAF, I think, and Owens Corning. Now, it's just going to be depends where you go with what you're going to get, but the reason why I went with Atlas is because between them and what's carried at Home Depot, which is the GAF, I think, they're pretty much on par. They all have like which company they do like good, better, best, and Atlas even had one above that, like a superior. Well, that one above this Pinnacle Pristine, that was over like $40 some a bundle, and these were only in the 20s. So to go just one hair up on shingle, but almost double the price, that was totally not worth it. But these, like most asphalt shingles, have like a 20 or 30 year warranty. They have a 10-year, pretty much all of them have a 10-year mold growth. warranty, and that is where you see like the streaks coming down a roof where mold's growing and you've got those dark colored lines and stuff, and they're just unsightly, and there's really not much you can do once you pass your 10-year, except I did see an infomercial on one of my YouTube videos, and there's a company out there that actually sprays on a food-based oil that helps with mold growth and everything like that. But the biggest reason why asphalt shingles fail is because they dry out and crack and break, and then you've got water penetration. So what this company does after, if you've had your roof on for 10 or 15 years, I think it lasts at least 5 years maybe or less, but they spray on this food-based oil and it basically rehydrates the asphalt shingle. Now, does that work? I have no idea, but coming from a car guy, if you've got leather seats in your car, what do? You rehydrate them with like a leather conditioner, because if your car's sitting outside in the sun all day, it's 140 degrees or 160 degrees with the sun beating down all day long, you're gonna dry your leather out, it's gonna crack, break, and your seats and steering wheel and everything are gonna look like crap. So to me, it's kind of like the exact same thing. You hydrate your shingles back up, get a little bit more life out of them so they don't get brittle and crack, and it just extends the life. And if you don't have the money to replace your roof, maybe that service isn't that expensive every 5 years that you can do, and maybe get another 10 years out of your roof. I don't know, but I'm just saying that is something that can increase the life and maybe worth it to some people. Now, as you can see on this Atlas, they use 3M's Protector Scotch Guard. The other manufacturers have some like copper and zinc balls that are infused into the stone or whatever they put down on there, and that's supposed to be antimicrobial, and copper is antimicrobial. Things don't like to grow on it. So actually, if the world changed all door handles and everything to like copper, or sinks in restrooms and stuff, we would actually really cut down on disease transmission, because again, after so much time after you've touched something, the copper actually in that handle kills it. But I know copper will tarnish and turn green, and I know it's very expensive, but just a thought I had. So why did I go with Atlas? Well, like I said, they're pretty much on par with everything else. Their wind speed rating, their antimicrobial for 10 years with this Scotch Guard versus something else. But the real reason why I went with them is actually because they're the biggest shingle out there. I've got a shingle over here that I got from Home Depot, and that is actually what the shed is in. And I will go ahead and put those on top of each other, and you will see what a difference it makes from a little shingle to a bigger shingle, and supposedly how much faster you'll get your products done, how many less nails you'll use to get your product done, and apparently a lot less wasted material going to a landfill. There's the difference of the shingle. Basically, on a large job, I can see it taking a lot less time and a lot less nails. You've got about 1 inch right here, and it looks like about 2.5, almost 3 inches on this side. So basically, you're just getting your rows done a little bit sooner. Obviously, if you're putting 100 rows together, you'll be getting it done a lot sooner. You'll be having a lot less shingles, and again, you will save a little bit of nails. So it does help out a little bit. So you are going up a little faster and over a little faster. So that's kind of nice. We've got 24 feet 10 inches from the eaves to the rake, so 1 inch per row. Yeah, that will save a little bit. Each bundle though is roughly the same square footage as every other bundle, so there's probably less pieces in there, obviously, since there's more square area that bundle is having housed inside of it. So we'll see how they perform and how they look. We went with just a regular black. I'll bust one out here right now. I think for the garage, we went with more of like the gray, so you can see there's a lot of white flake in there. But let's see and compare how much darker that will be. And then, like I said, hopefully this week we'll be able to get started at least with like the starting rows along the bottom and up to the rake on the sides. And then again, hopefully it doesn't rain. We can get a lift out here and we can get started. All right, so comparison, as you can see, the black is definitely more black. There's definitely a few colors of flake in here though, which surprising me. Up over here you can see it's almost like rainbowed colored, but actually down here in the shingle, some of those light browns actually did go through. There is a little bit of gray maybe in here, but overall that's definitely darker than that. That will make for a hotter roof, but Aaron wanted black and we got to go with what the wife wants. And then one other thing with the Atlas, which everyone is pretty much doing nowadays, we're pretty much up to about a 1.5-inch nailing surface, so you have a lot less chance of missing where this can tear. So you want your nails going through that surface where it's a lot stronger and reinforced. So again, install should be pretty quick, pretty easy, and hopefully it goes well. But unfortunately, we will be starting this in pretty much the middle or the beginning of July. It's almost the first, and I think 2 days it's the first. I can't remember. It's Tuesday right now. But one thing I can say is if you go ahead and look at these beautiful garage doors again, as you can see, they got their trim on and their weather stripping. Man, do these things look good. I just got to wait for them to call me and say that those last 2 grills showed up. But what I was getting at is it is 96 degrees right now. The camper is very hot. The AC is struggling to maintain, so we've got it turned up to about 80 degrees Fahrenheit. And that's just frankly because the insulation on those walls and the roof are probably just a R5 panel that are inserted up in there. So that RV is very hot, the sun's beating down on it, and etc. But you step into this garage right now, I'm actually getting like a chill. I can't tell you how much colder it is in here than it is outside. It is 96 degrees outside right now with, I'm gonna go ahead and guess, at least a 50–60% humidity. And it's gotta be at least 20 degrees cooler in this garage. What a difference good insulation makes. And if you step up into the house right now, the house is probably close to 100 degrees Fahrenheit. And that is because there's no ceiling insulation. So everything that the sun is hitting down on top, oh my God, it's a sauna. Everything hitting onto that roof decking right now is transferring down in. And of course you got a black roof, that wood there. Yes, we do have the ridge vents. They're not that big, but we do have venting up there now. But it is absolutely miserable in here with the windows closed and the front and back door aren't on. So air can come through and move through here, but it is not. It is miserable in here. And again, just stepping out into this garage, I don't even know if I'm gonna need a ductless AC unit that will be used for actually running AC in here. I can work in here right now, no problem, and I am not hot at all. It is crazy what an R30 something in your walls will do. Obviously you got ICF on this side, and yes, it helps that the sun isn't beating down on the garage doors, but what a difference having a ceiling insulated with, like, I think we went with close to like an R50 for that rock-wool batt that we sat down in there, which was an R30, and then the blown-in cellulose on top of that. That's sun is not getting down through the garage roof right now and getting through that insulation and turning this garage into basically like a sauna, like the RV or the inside of the house is facing right now. So we're gonna clear some room out over here. We're gonna get these shingles inside, get them protected, call the local rental place and see when we can get a lift out here and see if I can get some help. We did go ahead and buy a new gun. So once again, I've got a new toy that I can use. And that's just a regular roofing nailer. And we got about 7,500 nails, which should be more than enough for the garage. And again, just nothing too special, just a regular DeWalt roofing nailer. Hopefully it lasts and works okay. I've only got basically 2 jobs to do, and they're not too expensive, right around 200 bucks, I think. But let's get the shingles in here, and again, we'll figure out the plan and what we're gonna do. I do have to work tomorrow, so it may be a minute, but hopefully in the rest of this video, you'll see, hopefully, starting some shingles and maybe finishing out this side over here for the siding and this side over here. Okay, 5-minute break here. 2 interesting facts. These are actually stamped on them that they are made right in the heart of Ohio. So that's awesome, nice and local. Plus, I don't think you could really want to truck these things halfway across the United States. They are way too heavy. These shingles are 74 pounds. I think the starter shingles are 66, and I think the ridge cap shingles are 58 pounds per bundle. But second interesting fact is I actually used to work at Owens Corning here in Ohio. I used to make shingles, used to be on the assembly line, and tell you what, there is no downtime on a shingle assembly line. If the paper gets fed incorrectly from where the tar gets sprayed on and then it goes up and down like 30 feet in the air to cool down a little bit before the actual stone and stuff gets printed on. If the shingles go down, boy, you and 20 other guys better be sprinting your butt off to cut where the bad spot is, get it feed back through the rollers, and just keep that assembly line going. Because I tell you what, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, that assembly line making whatever shingle it's gonna be, like color and stuff, it does not shut down. It just keeps on going. Times like that, I definitely wish I had a swimming pool. Hey everybody, welcome back. So, kind of recovered here. It's really late in the day, kind of slept all day, but just got back from the store and went and picked up the rest of the shingles. So what's in here is the starter shingles and the ridge cap shingles. And the reason why I did that is because since these are 3D printed like shingles, for the shed, I ended up using those shingles for everything, the starter shingles and the ridge cap. Well, unfortunately with the starter shingles, because they're like 3D, they, you know, have ups and downs. And when you put another shingle over top of that, doesn't make for as clean of an install job. And then when you cut those for ridge caps, the 3D part that sticks up higher likes to not really want to conform for that bend and like stick up. So each shingle manufacturer does have shingles specifically made for your starter row that are completely flat. They don't have any of the obvious 3D part going on. And then when you actually have your hip and your ridge, or your ridge caps that you cut down, those conform a lot easier. And it's just what they're made for. So I'd rather stick with what the manufacturer says. And that way we keep everything legit and pretty much under warranty, I guess, if something were to happen. And then while I was at the lumber yard, went ahead and picked up some more lumber. So I know I'm not really in budget to keep doing stuff to the inside, but I at least want to get the internal framing done. Not only for safety, but also just to get it done. Now, safety-wise, there's a few boards that I still need to put up into the trusses, and I'll show you that later, where we need diagonal bracing that the county says that I have to have, and then on each gable end as it goes on up from basically the base plate on the outside, like a double top plate, it has to go up over like 3 or 4 trusses and pretty much lock those into each other. And then there's also some horizontal ones that basically lock all the trusses in. So got some lumber for that, enough lumber hopefully to finish out the fireplace, the half bath, the laundry room, the chase, and then I also got some 2x10s that we need to go ahead and build the utility room down in the basement. And that is because I need the walls built so that I can figure out where I'm gonna mount manifolds to, where my filtration is gonna bolt to, where the pressure tank and all that stuff's gonna sit in relation to like a boiler and everything. So we basically just need a better layout. And then I can also put a light down there in the utility room. So I'll need a wall for a light switch location, and then figure out where the door is gonna go. And then I'll just make for the utility room to get done a lot easier, so we can go ahead and get the well and everything done. And that way we can at least have some water. And then, yeah, hopefully this is the last load of lumber that I need. But in this day and age, that little bit of lumber right there was almost $900. On to a depressing note. We obviously need to get this concrete cleaned. I was just ready to open up the big garage door, and I'm like, oh, that sucks. The rain hits there and makes the garage door look all crappy. And we've got a monsoon for the last 2 days, so I don't know when I'm actually going to get a lift out here and actually be able to start on the roof. It'll take at least a day or two to dry. And oh, well, isn't that interesting? You guys are seeing this as I'm seeing it. Like I said, it just rained the last 2 days, and look where the well guys put the well line in. That completely collapsed. That must not have been pushed down in there very tightly. So we're gonna have to get the tractor eventually when this dries out and push that down. And everywhere, even over here, that completely just caved in and everything. So we're gonna have to get that pushed down in and bring some dirt over and fill that in a little bit better, because that's not good. That's not gonna make for a very good area to not have water constantly sit in it and want to get into the house. So hopefully we've got 5 days of good weather coming up. If I can't get a lift back here and I obviously don't fall into a sinkhole now, we need to get more grading and finally finish this out, start getting rid and cutting back this pile, and then we can also get grading up against the house, because luckily, since this hole is finally filled in, I went out here during that heavy rain and looked down the clean out. There was actually no water rushing through the French drain. So basically the grading that I do have, at least, and the clay that I have here has basically really saved us, and water actually really can't get down in there and get into the basement and start flooding it. But back to the bad news is I'm again over here, and like I said again, once we clean this concrete really good, I don't think we'll get like as much dirt and backsplash onto the garage doors. But the bad news is not that the garage doors are dirty. The bad news is I'm looking down here on the ground and wondering what all of these black flakes are. And if you really look down in here, you will see that a mouse has already ate through my weather stripping and has made a hole into my garage. Now, was that a mouse trying to get in or a mouse trying to get out? I don't know, but I have killed some in there before. I saw one the other day making a home because the lumber over here for the LP was not pushed together really tightly. So it was getting into anywhere it can find a crack, like make a hole in there, and it had already started bringing some insulation of some kind and feathers or whatever and making a bed. So I pushed all those boards really tight together, but it's either trying to make a home in there again or it's somewhere else in here, I don't know. And if it's in the AMG, I swear to God I will lose it. But to help with this, we do have to get the lower trim on, because if we go ahead and take like a little LP right here, you can see there's obviously a big hole in there right now. But if we take this piece of trim that will go in there, it kind of pretty much blocks that area off. There's still some area down in there, hopefully you can see. But I don't know. That's better than nothing. At least if it tries to get in or get out, it's gonna encounter some PVC plastic, 3.5 inches, and you know, that thick also. So it won't be able to chew through that as easily as it will with this just real thin, like rubber flap here. But the other thing that sucks is the LP. One of the boards was also getting chewed up. So wherever it was making its home, it decided to chew through that. So LP smart siding, not so great for rodents, and I don't know, maybe that's another positive to fiber cement, but we are kind of stuck at LP at this point. But yeah, I'm wondering if I'm gonna start seeing some chewing under here one day as it tries to chew through, if it wants to, on this gemstone. It can't get back up in there, but at least for the time being, until I get some grading, maybe it can get in through there. So we're really gonna have to keep an eye on any holes or anything like that. And even then, I don't know what the hell I'm supposed to do if that does happen. So tonight, I'm either gonna be working downstairs in the basement on the utility room and getting a light down in there installed, or I might do some work out here in the garage and some more painting. But till then, that's just a little update, and I'll see you guys back when I figure out what project I'm gonna do. We're down here in the basement, so I'm gonna talk a little quieter because of the echo. But obviously, I chose what I was gonna do tonight, and that was work on the walling in and the framing of the utility room. Now, it's nothing difficult today. I'm just doing 2 walls here with a door opening that will decide where that will go. But the only thing that's maybe controversial that I'm doing is I'm really afraid of the radiant tubes down in my concrete. Now, this basement was poured at least 5-6 inches thick maybe, and we put the vapor barrier on top of the tubes after we nailed the tubes down to the foam below the concrete. So with the vapor barrier on top of the tubes, there really is no way for those tubes to have risen where they can, you know, get up like this, and then you put a nail through the concrete and then you puncture a tube. But but I'm still afraid for something happens that, you know, I just can't foresee. So for the time being, what I'm doing is actually on the bottom there, I'm building the wall out stud by stud, which is what I usually do. And I know most people don't do that because of time frame and money, but you make a lot tighter of a fit putting each stud up one at a time. And when I measure the distance from the floor to the ceiling and I put that stud in there, I'm really hammering in that stud, so it's giving a lot of force, pushing up on the ceiling and pushing down on the concrete. And what I've done for the bottom plate with no nails is just basically went with construction adhesive. Now I've used this one a lot. This is Liquid Nails Fuse It. Basically what I have used this a lot for is outside projects, because it can be put anywhere. It can be put down to like -20 degrees up to like 200 degrees. It bonds to absolutely everything. So far that bottom plate there, which by the way, that is a treated bottom plate, so that it is in contact with the concrete if it ever gets moist or anything. Right now, so far, it's basically nailed harder than if I would have used nails, because that stuff says it's like 200 times stronger than nails alone. But I mean, they all say that. But I really think that it should be good. Not only are you pushing down so that wall doesn't want to kick, but the construction adhesive is really keeping it. If I absolutely need to, yeah, I may put a few nails in there with the nail gun that uses the 22 cartridges, and maybe we can go get like 2-inch nails. So really only a half of an inch of nail is actually going down in the concrete. And really all that construction adhesive and nail is for is so the bottom of that wall doesn't kick out somehow. Is it going to kick out? No, I don't think so, because the 2x4 over there is going to be screwed into the ICF, and then this wall here is going to be stopped from moving in that way by the wall that's going that way. So only really the middle can bow. So at most, if I put like one concrete nail in the middle, so that 1/2 inch of steel basically stops that wall from kicking if anyone were to bump into it. But I mean, I think you would need a linebacker to go through that wall to actually move it and break it. But yeah, so that's what I'm doing right now. So if you don't see me shoot a nail down in there, that's why. But I did clean the concrete up really well. I brushed it, I swept it, and then I got a bucket of water with a towel and basically got all that silt off of here from when the basement flooded a few times. But we're gonna keep cracking at this, finish out one more stud on this wall, then we'll go that way, and then we should be done. And we'll have one step closer to figuring out where we're going to put all of our utilities. And yeah, that's what Aaron said was an okay size, so we'll go from there. I'm wrapping today up here. I finished out 3 more studs down there in the basement, so you guys can pretty much see what's going on. But as on a good note, I was leaving the garage and went to open up the door. As you can see, I put on a bottom trim piece there, and over there, and over there. So now those freaking mice can't be chewing at my weather seals and getting in here, because if they try to chew at the weather seal, they're just gonna get back here and meet basically a huge piece of plastic that I don't think they're really gonna want to or can chew through. But anyway, I was leaving the garage and just opened it up, and that mouse was actually stuck in here. He was trying to, he must have been sitting in there hiding in that corner, because as I opened up the garage door, it took off running and was over there. So fortunately, another mouse had to meet the pellet gun Luckily I had it in close by, and I had a flashlight that it pretty much didn't move. So fortunately, another one that I had to take out, but I mean, stop destroying my house, and I shouldn't have to do that, but unfortunately that's not the case. So I will see you guys back tomorrow when we decide again what we're going to do. Is it going to be more of the garage, the outside siding, the roof, depending on what the yard looks like, or are we going to do some more framing inside and moving around some electrical wire and stuff like that and getting that set up. So we'll see, but for now I'm going to take a shower and get to bed because I am hot, sweaty, and it is late. So I'll see you guys all tomorrow morning. It's a new day. What I've decided to do today is finish out the interior framing. It's not that hot outside. The humidity is very low. We've got the windows cracked open, so we actually have a nice cool breeze coming through. So it's actually tolerable to work in here right now. So we're gonna try to finish out the laundry room, that little chase over there, maybe the fireplace. That's a little bit difficult just because it's so freaking high up there. And then we have to use those 2x4s, and like I said, over here in the master bathroom, this depth I don't think is that great from the wall out to here for how much counter space we're gonna have. So I'm just gonna take some 2x and turn them sideways, give me another 1.5 inches. It's not much, but it's better than nothing, just to, again, make that countertop a little bit bigger. And then I think that completes the framing. With the, again, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 things really. So we're gonna get cracking at that, and hopefully we get it done. All right, everybody, today's kind of coming to a close. GoPro died as I finished out the half bath here, but one little thing I want to show you. So remember how I said I didn't know if I wanted a broom closet, which I wanted here, and the half bath? So what we're gonna do is right here on this wall with this opening, we're gonna put like a false door. So you open up this little door, and as you can see in there, I've got some 2x that I'll put some OSB down to make a ledge. And then as you can see, if you pretend that this is a broom here, you sit that in there, and you've got all of this space from here in this corner all the way back there. So our sweeper fits in there. We can put some brooms and whatever else supplies that we want to in there, and it'll all be hidden on this little corner wall here that we'll use a picture or a fake door or something that you don't even know that it's there, but that's how we get everything out of the way that you don't have to see everything. Now, the only thing I'll have to do is up there, because this is hollow space, is now gonna be a room. Up in there, I will have to drywall it somehow and completely air seal that ceiling in there. Same that I would have to do within the bathroom or anywhere else. Unfortunately, I may run out of 2x. I've only got 1, 2, 3, like 4 full sizes left. And those were gonna be for the fireplace. And I think I need 1, 2, 3, I only need 3 left. So 3 more 2x here going all the way up, and then hopefully I've got enough little pieces that will get up there. As the further you go out here, you obviously need to stack them on top of each other and get even taller, because that's like 16 foot right there. And then what I finished out the rest of the day with is I finally got code compliant for the rest of everything. So if you look up in here, any 2x that you see that is white, all of that is brand new. So that is what code wants. So they want these V shapes every 20 feet going down from the bottom and going up across like 4 trusses. So they go this way. Then of course we've got by the manufacturer of the trusses, they want horizontal ones going on these common ones. So there and there. And I make sure that whenever I do those, I get them nailed to the wall here. So that way that wall can't push in unless it pushes on that 2x. And then of course over here, I've got it nailed to the very first common truss right about there and somewhere right about there. So now this is all locked in, which locks in all of those. And then of course we already did all that months ago, but that's what the county wanted, along with I put up 3 more of whatever the heck these things are. These braces have to go on 3 trusses every 10 feet. So we've got the first one like right there. Then we've got the second one right there. Third one right there, and then there's another one and another one over there. And I know some of you had said that really isn't gonna do much. I don't know why the county does it, but that's what I was up in there doing, and I am tired getting up and down there. And then on this side over here, the only other thing I did was I put that strong back there. So it's a 2x sitting this way, and then it's a 2x sitting on top this way. So it kind of makes like an L bracket like this. And that was for the gable end. But the county inspector said I did not need to do the strong back on this end because the garage is there. There's nothing for that wall to push on or go this way because the garage roof is there pushing back. So we only needed a strong back on the outside there and on the outside of the garage there. But I do not have to get up into trusses anymore. We are all, as far as I know, completely locked down, and we're good to go. So if I get my dad out here, somebody that can help me a little bit, especially up in here, because I'm gonna have to use the ladder, not in an A-frame, but when I'm up there, it'd be nice for somebody to hand me stuff so I'm not up and down 1,000 times. But really, we only need 3 more 2x there, and then we need to figure out, we're gonna have to build a box eventually. So all of these 2x right about in there, they're gonna have to get cut horizontal, top and bottom. And we're gonna have to basically build out a box frame just like you would above any like door or window, because a fireplace insert has to go in there. We haven't picked it yet, so I don't know how big to cut or how wide. So right now we'll just leave the 2x there, and we'll just leave it at that. And then we can break down this bracing, and then the fireplace will be done. But pretty good day. Got a lot done. Just the only other thing I need to figure out is Aaron hasn't 100% decided. Do we leave the bathroom up in there as a flat ceiling, or do we continue all the way up? Flat ceiling means you could like put some knickknacks or whatever up in there, or you just finish it all the way off like you did the office over here. It's all sealed off. There is no flat ceiling in the office. The office will have a taper, but I wanted a flat ceiling in this half bath. So it's still like 10 foot, 8 inches high, but that'll be a completely flat ceiling in here. And you can see the toilet, just to show you the dimensions there. Somebody did recommend to go with a toilet that actually is made for a corner. So that's just a rough idea. We'll take that toilet out and put it in the master. But they do make that exact toilet again for a corner. So when you're standing here, I think it's a little bit nicer that you can barely see the toilet. If I turn that toilet this way and it faces the sink here, then the toilet gets kicked out really far. But if you put it back in that corner, not only does that get it away from the door opening, but it just makes for a lot more room over in here. And even when you're sitting on the toilet, you really can't even reach the vanity here. And if I were to turn it this way, I'd be sitting right about here, and that just makes the vanity really close. So off at an angle, it's a lot further away. You feel like you have a lot more room in here. So I think that's a good idea that we'll go ahead and put the toilet in at a corner instead of facing straight on. And there you have it. Now you guys have basically seen all of the framing. You see where everything's gonna go. I got my little broom closet like I wanted. We got the powder room like everybody else wanted. So we've got 1.5 baths upstairs, and then we'll have a full bath downstairs. So I think that's gonna work out perfect, and it's gonna look good. So I'm gonna head in for tonight, maybe come back out here and do a little bit more work after dinner. Aaron's got some crab cakes going, so I actually can smell that. I don't know what that is. I've really never lost a smell for fishy type stuff. It's not that strong, it's just a hint, but I still can't taste it. But I can walk into the RV, close my eyes, and know that fish was being cooked, which is weird because that's the only thing. But maybe that's not that weird because I've always smelled cleaner too, but I was reading an article on COVID patients who lost their taste and smell, and bleach and ammonia and cleaning products, etc. Those are not in the same part of the brain as other stuff is. So that's probably why I can still smell. It doesn't smell like it's supposed to. Bleach does not smell like bleach. 409 and ammonia and cleaning products don't smell like what they're supposed to, but they all smell the same. And again, that's another part of the brain. So that must be why I can smell them. But yeah, so that and fish. Lucky me, I can smell horrible smelling cleaning products that I don't like the smell of because I've never smelt them in that way before, and I can smell fish. Yay for me. Hey everybody, so happy 4th of July. I'm gonna go ahead and get this video finished up and out. It's pretty long already. Sorry we didn't get to the roof. I had a feeling that was gonna happen, just the way that the backyard's looking. And now with the holiday, I don't know if we're actually gonna be able to get a lift out here anyway, because the renters are probably closed, and who knows, the lift is probably booked and I won't even be able to get it. But I'm gonna wrap this video up here. Today, Aaron and I are gonna clean the crap out of this house. There is just junk sitting everywhere and this foam and everything. So now that we're pretty much done with electric, there's just like 4 or 5 more outlets I think I have to do. And I've got to run the wiring up and over for the front door, the front foyer lights, the outside soffits, and the outside sconces. And I think we're gonna run one more in case in the center of that porch we want to put like a light or a fan. But pretty much, again, the electric is done. We're gonna clean all this crap up so we actually have some room to walk around. And then now that technically the framing is done, if we have the inspector out here and close out the framing on the entire house now, then that means we can start to drywall a little bit. We can't drywall anywhere where plumbing will have to go, but that will basically only be the half bath and the master bath and basically the island. We can pretty much put the drywall and stuff everywhere else. I'll ask the county to make sure that that's okay, but I think we can start on at least, again, getting stuff a little bit more buttoned up. Don't know if we can spring and afford all of the drywall now, but I would at least like to get the ceiling on, because that is where we can start putting in insulation. And if we get ceiling insulation in and get the drywall up on that, this house will feel a heck of a lot more comfortable as we start entering into July and August, which are the hot months. So again, if you guys liked the video, as always, like it, hit that thumbs up button. That really helps our channel out there, gets us out to more viewers. More viewers means that more people can look at more stuff that we're using and they can buy that and keep economy going. You also help our page out a little bit, and yeah, basically just helps everyone out. So hit that thumbs up button more than anything. Again, comment if you guys got anything to say or have any ideas on how we're gonna finish stuff out, especially like that half bath. Do we leave that roof flat or do we continue it up to the rafters? And subscribe if you're not already subscribed. Get the bell on. That'll update you guys when we have a new video that's just been posted. And we'll see you guys next time. Till then, take care.